arcade gamers, and welcome to BiggggyD's Arcade. Tonight we're going to do my Chill and Chat live. I'd originally planned to start this much earlier, but P-Dubs went live and then the rest of the gang joined, Michael B and B-Kongs and Justin, and I got into watching them, so I kind of delayed this, and I know a lot of the viewers and people that watch my channel watch theirs as well. So, but then I noticed there were some people in the chat that wanted to get going. Saw Brooklyn, saw Papa Brad. So just good to see everyone in the chat that's made it so far. So what's up, Brooklyn? Let me know if you're having any audio issues or anything. This is my first time live streaming since I've moved into my new place. So this is kind of like a test run, I guess you could say, before I start doing this every week. But I think I am going to at least do my Chill and Chat live. It seems to do the best that way, and I like the engagement from everyone that's watching. But I had some pretty good subjects lined up for today. Pretty much how I'll do these Chill and Chats is I'll just kind of take my thoughts throughout the whole week. I'll write them down anytime I have a thought. And then by Sunday, I'll normally have a show, or I'll have enough content to have, you know, a good 30, 45-minute show if we're lucky. But I did want to start with some things here. And Brooklyn says that I sound great. So that's good to know. We got audio down. But I wanted to start with the Fast and the Furious. So this cabinet's right around the corner. It is going to be probably released on May the 1st. They are probably going to announce it on April the 20th. And this will probably be a Best Buy exclusive. And it'll probably be $699, $799. We really don't know the price yet on what that will be. But we can tell from looking at this, you know, we thought this was going to be the final design, or the final thing that they went with, because it was in the manual. We didn't have any colors. We could just see what was in this image. However, there was a image that leaked. This was a Polish leak from some website in Poland, where they had this listing saying that it was going to be $799. It was going to include 2 games, which was going to be the Fast and the Furious and Fast and the Furious Drift. And it looked pretty authentic. I mean, it has the Vin Diesel and Paul Walker up at the top. So the one thing that did stand out to me, though, and I think many others out there, was the riser. We definitely did not expect from this design, from what we saw in the manual, for it to have any type of riser. So that was a shock to me, and I think many others when they saw this. But it started getting me thinking, well, you know, at some point, did they pull this previous design in order to create this design because it was more stable? And that's left to be determined. We'll find out, I guess, you know, on the 20th, what they went with. However, we did hear 19K Fox say this evening, and I think he made a previous video over the weekend, where he has actually spoken to someone within Arcade1up, and they have told them that this is a fake, that this is not a design that they've ever done. It's not a design that they've ever even considered. So that they are indeed going with the deluxe design with no riser. That is indeed a fact, no doubt about it now. He's confirmed that. So, you know, K-Fox with his inside information and the ability to get that for us is good, because now we can kind of exclude this out, and we don't even have to really even talk about it much more, other than the fact of how well they did in this design. You know, I do graphic design. I feel like whoever put this together, they put some time and effort into it. Looks pretty authentic, and it probably threw many people, including myself, off when we saw it because of how well it was done. So congrats to them. They definitely did that. But if it weren't for that leak or that confirmation from 19K Fox, we would probably still be going with this as a possibility. But we do for sure know this is it. The colors will probably be similar to this. However, it probably will not have the 2 main characters from the movie at the top, and it will definitely not have a riser. So more information to come here in the next week or two, but definitely wanted to clear that up and let everyone know what we're dealing with whenever you guys see that image. But the next thing I wanted to discuss is the Arcade1up Deluxe. So this cabinet, along with the Class of '81 and the MK2 Deluxe. These cabinets have all been released at Best Buy for $499. However, we're noticing some issues with this particular Pac-Man. Now, I don't know if it's happening with the class of 81 as well. It would make sense that it would happen with that because it's the same design. And I'm going to cover that with you guys here in this stream so you guys can see that. Brooklyn made a comment here. He said the non-riser design is way better. Yeah, and I certainly agree with that. I mean, if they've accomplished making it stable enough and able to build it and be strong enough without the riser, there should be no reason for the riser anymore, other than it makes it a little more easier to move it around. But I haven't really got a real good hands-on look at these to see, these may be easy to disassemble if you have to move them, maybe just take off the bottom part. I haven't looked at it that closely, but the only downside I could see is it may be more difficult to move these than it would have been with the riser versions of the cabinets. But other than that, it's great and it looks good. But there are some issues and some early issues that I'm noticing. Many others that follow Arcade1up are noticing with this particular model, maybe the class of 81, and maybe someone out there can confirm for us if it is happening on that model as well. But if we look at this image, and I couldn't find this over top image like this on the Pac-Man, I could only find it on the Miss Pac-Man class of 81 cabinet. And basically it just kind of shows us an looking at it as if we were playing it. And we can see that there's no screw holes. There's no screws. There's nothing right there. So it kind of looks like it would almost be glued on, or maybe it would fit in there and snap into place somehow. However, that's not how it looks. And I pulled this image from Reddit. This was a Reddit post from someone on there basically showing off their new class of 81 cabinet. But if you look at it close up, it's got these screws, and these screws are the same exact ones that they're using on the plexiglass overlay. So a lot of times you'll get that plastic under the screw. You have to unscrew those to get that plastic off. It's the same screws that they're now using for the deck protector, which isn't a very heavy duty way of doing it. Probably not going to hold up well long term, but it is, I guess, something that they thought was going to work. However, what we're noticing is that the deck protectors, especially on the Pac-Man Deluxe, I don't know about the class of 81, but they're starting to bow outward. It's starting to come up towards the joystick and coming off of the game deck. And that's a major problem, and it's seeming to happen on a lot of them, if not all of them. So what are they going to do as a company to fix this? That's going to be the big question, is what can they do at this point? Are they going to have to figure out an entirely new deck protector that's a little thicker plastic that they're going to have to come up with, and then send those out to everyone who opens a ticket, or are they going to do it to everyone? That's a good question. And I was hoping there would be more people in the live stream tonight. We could get some discussion going on what will they do to fix it and what options do they have. And it does look like Goofy joined us, though. It's good to see you, Goofy. Glad you made it. Hey, here's all the cool kids. Yeah, I don't know if, P-Dubs and B-Kong and the whole crew are still streaming or not right now, but I decided I was going to go ahead and start because Brooklyn's like, just get it started. So I figured we'll just get it going, and if people can rewatch it later, that's fine. So we'll find out what they're going to do to fix it. I'm definitely going to cover it, definitely going to make sure that I inform everyone on my channel or anyone who watches my content on what they're doing to fix this, because if I was considering buying the Pac-Man Deluxe right now, I probably wouldn't do it if it was having this issue. I would probably wait and figure out what they're going to do to fix it. So we'll find out. Yeah, and Goofy said, yep, just do it. So we'll go forward with the stream. Whoever joins, and then whoever wants to rewatch later can rewatch. But let's look here. And this was, I need to actually open a support ticket very soon on my Miss Pac-Man, which I'll discuss here in a little bit. But if you do own if you're out there and you're watching and you have the Pac-Man Deluxe or you have the class of 81, I would go ahead and open a support ticket now and just let them know of the issue and see if they have a fix or a new part that they can send you, a new deck protector. Maybe they've already got a solution for this, but I would definitely do it quick because you only have 90 days. After 90 days, they're going to charge you for those parts. Now, one way around that is to get the app and to go ahead and just register your cabinet through their app. And they'll give you an additional 90 days. That'll give you 6 months total. That way, if you're having any issues with this deck protector later on, it's covered for 6 months. But it'll be interesting, and I'll continue to follow it because I want to know. We haven't seen any major issues like this on a cabinet by Arcade1up, immediately as soon as it launched. Normally, we'll find issues out later, but this one's an obvious one that you can see as soon as you walk up to it. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Papa Brad's joined. He says, "Hello, BiggyD. Good to see you, Papa Brad. I'm glad you made it." And he also said, "Hello, Brooklyn and Goofy. Good to see you guys. I'm glad everyone's made it and is able to watch this evening." It's pretty late. It's 9:22 here. I know it's probably past 12 o'clock on the East Coast. So with the time change, it's even later where you guys are on the East Coast than normal. Because we don't, here in Arizona, we don't do the time change. We just stay the same time all year long. So right now we're on West Coast time. But Brooklyn says, "Hey, Brad, what's up, man? Good to see you." And so the next thing I wanted to discuss, and this is more like speculation. This is definitely far off speculation. Just kind of thinking of ideas of future cabinets that we could be seeing, at the end of this year or maybe early next year. And the feasibility of doing a NBA Showtime with NFL Blitz Sports Center cabinet. So this would be a good idea. And the reason that I thought that this was a great idea for them to do is that space is becoming more and more limited by the year for your fan of Arcade1up or your buyer that buys lots of cabinets. Those people are running out of room. People that have owned these or been buying these for a long time are definitely limited on space now. And one way that they can continue growth in business in that part of the market, these customers that I'm talking about, which are your big buyers that buy a lot of these, is to start integrating or combining cabinets together. A good one to do is definitely the NBA and NFL. Get all your sports games into one cabinet, especially on the 4-player cabinets, because they're going to take up even more room. And I heard Console Kits tonight mention, doing a Konami cab with like Simpsons and Ninja Turtles. That would be really cool. And X-Men, try to get them all 3 in there. But with the licensing issues and all that, with Disney and, trying to do that in Nickelodeon with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would get tricky. But if they could do, like NBA Showtime is left to be determined, that could be an issue there because NBC never or has not followed NBA in a long time. They did at one point, but it's been a really long time. And so it may be difficult to get that title. But one alternative, and what I wanted to discuss with you guys, was instead of having Showtime, having NBA Jam in place of Showtime, because they've already got the game, they've already got the license, and they've already got everything worked out for the online to make that happen and play good. And, trying to do that and just call it SportStation, or maybe come up with a different name for it, like Sports Center or something. But just combining those games, getting them on one cabinet, incentivizing people to, sell the NFL Blitz and the NBA Jam and maybe get an XL or a Pro with both of them on the same cabinet. So I think that's a real possibility. And even Console Kits tonight said that, it's definitely in the realm of possibility that could happen. And it would probably be towards the top of the list, would be this cabinet in particular. But there's also many others out there. And I would have to dig a little more deeper to see which other titles out there could be possibilities, because there are lots of licensing issues and things that these companies have to work out before they can release these games. So it'll be cool to see if that takes off and they start doing this as a business model moving forward, and look at that as extra potential to make more money and increase sales. Let's see what Brooklyn said here. He goes, I've slept most of the day, so he's wide awake, so that's good to hear. And I know, happy Easter to everyone. I know a lot of people probably have tomorrow off. So with the Easter holiday, possibly they're having a long weekend. So a lot of people are staying up late. Typically, P-Dubs doesn't stream on a Sunday night real late like that. That's pretty different for him. So I didn't expect it, and I don't want to compete with him. And, you know, even though I know I probably have some viewers that watch me that don't watch him, there's probably not many, but I know there are some. I know most or majority, when I look at my YouTube statistics, I can see they watch, you know, P-Dubs and Console Kits and 19K Fox. So I definitely don't want to compete with all of them on the same stream. So that's this Sunday's been a weird one with that going on and having to stream at the same time. But here's what Goofy said. He goes, it was a great weekend with family, so that's good. Good to hear you had a good weekend, Goofy, and got to spend it with family on Easter. My family lives back in Texas, and with taxes going on and all that, I didn't want to fly back this month, so I'm flying back next month. So I'm going to go a week in May and see them. And then Brooklyn, I'm working tomorrow. Yeah, so Brooklyn's working tomorrow. I work tomorrow, but I don't go in until 10 a.m., so I'm good. I normally stay up pretty late as it is. And I work from home on Monday, so it'll be even easier. I can just roll out of bed if I need to. But also, Goofy said here, he goes, yep, another day of work tomorrow also. So yeah, there's probably very few that are off tomorrow, but you never know. Some people may have a long weekend. And then, okay, so the rest of the show, I'm basically going to spend on just closing thoughts. And these are just, you know, random thoughts, things that I've been thinking about this week in regards to home arcade and the home arcade community, and what we can expect, and you know, news information on different things. So Operation Wolf, I watched the game days this week, and every week everyone's in the chat asking about Operation Wolf. When is it coming? When are we going to hear something? And for the last few streams, Michael really hasn't said anything, but he did this week. He said it's done. He said the game is done. All the rework that Taito had required them to do is complete, and they're now just waiting on Taito to sign off on the game. So as soon as they do that, it should launch and we should be able to play it, or at least people with the gold cabinet will be able to play it until a trackball is released. Now, that was another thing, as he said, for the standard users of the iArcade, that the trackball is very close. He said that you're going to hear about that through iArcade. That will not come through GRS products or Glenn. He won't actually release or announce it. That iArcade will. So it sounds like they may sell it directly on their website, and that'll be a good product, because these shooting games like Operation Wolf and any other shooters they come out with, the standard cab, you'll have to have that trackball to play those titles. It looks like Toxin joined us. Good to see you, Toxin. Glad you made it. And Papa Brad saying hello, Toxin. Good to see you. So I started drinking a beer earlier during P-Dub stream, so I've already had a couple. I'm on my third. Goofy said he did kind of a hint of some new gold cabs coming, in his opinion. And that's interesting. And that's funny that you mentioned that, Goofy, because my next slide was on that. So the iArcade Gold is sold out, and it's been sold out for some time. And for the last few weeks, Michael has been saying in these game day streams that there's not really any gold cabs coming. They haven't placed an order for any. They don't have any new ones coming. But there was a lot of people speculating and wondering, are we going to get some new skins? And I believe if you kind of listen in real closely and you take the hints, you're probably going to get the hint. He's not going to say it, flat out say it, but you kind of get the hint that there are new skins coming for the gold. So what are those going to be? We don't know yet. You know, obviously you'd think they would go with the biggest titles, the major names, or the games that play the best and sell the best, that make them the most amount of money, would be the ones they would go with. So if you go to like the store and you see their featured games, those are going to be your candidates for skins. And it looks like Galaga guys joined us. Hello. And Raven as well. Good to see you, Raven. Glad you made it. And Matt Astra's joined as well. Good to see you, Matt Astra. Glad you made it. The P-Dub stream must be ending because we're getting some new viewers coming in here at the end. So I appreciate you guys making it. And we're just discussing iArcade, and we were discussing Operation Wolf and how that is right around the corner, should be coming any day now, as well as these gold cabs being sold out and new skins possibly coming. So new skins I would like to see are going to be like Ninja Baseball Batman. R-Type Leo would definitely be a good one. Any of your IREM games are going to be good. And then obviously I think Wizard of Walls is going to be a good choice. I love that game. But it'll be interesting to see which ones they choose and which ones get selected, because there's a wide range of games on the iArcade, and everyone seems to love the games that they like. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of competition for what skins come out in the future. I know that. And it looks like Ralphie has joined us as well. Good to see you, Ralphie. And Andy's Game Room is here. Biggie, good to see you, man. Glad you made it. And Raven said here, he goes, just waiting on the developer for Operation Wolf. Yeah, that's exactly where we're at. The game is completely done. There's no rework done. I know there was a point where they were having to rework the game because there was Red Cross logos in the background. So obviously they've had to remove those. So they've completed those things, and now they're just waiting on that sign off by Taito. So any day now, any week now, it's really up, it's out of their hands is the way he put it. So they just have to wait for that. Papa Brad said, he goes, I wonder if they have anything good in their pocket ready to drop like they did with Moon Patrol. And that brings up another point, is Moon Patrol would definitely be a cabinet skin. And iArcade is good at keeping secrets. So they do keep pretty good secrets. If you look at their record in their past at iArcade, they've been really tight-lipped on anything they have coming out. And Michael doesn't really like to do leaks, or he doesn't really like to drop hints. He will wait until the final moment in which they know the game is releasing, or the day it releases, before he actually says anything. So we won't know anything until the final moments, in which you'll probably see it on YouTube and stuff when people are making videos all of a sudden on it. Galaga guy, he says, I hate to drop and leave. Wanted to say hello. It's 12:30 here on the East Coast, and he's getting up at work at 5 a.m. I'll catch you on the replay, man. Yeah, definitely. If you're getting up at 5, I understand you'll have to get up early, but if you catch the rest, there's not going to probably be much left tonight, maybe another 10 or 15 minutes, but I appreciate you watching and finishing up the live stream tomorrow. So I hope you have a good day and good rest of the week next week. And Andy's Game Room says, hey, Papa Brad. And Andy's Game Room says, it's been a long night. Galaga88, have a good one. And it also got me thinking, too, when Andy said that, it's been a long time since I've live streamed, too. This is the 17th live stream I've done. So I've actually got a handful or more live streams under my belt. But it's been like a month or a month and a half since I've done it. And then I've had audio issues with my computer, and then reworking all the filters for my mic and all that to try to make things sound good, because it's a totally different environment as far as the room I'm in and the way sound carries and things like that. So, but it's good to finally be back on the live stream, see everything working, seeing everyone chatting, and it being enjoyable where you guys can listen in. And Ralphie says he's up at 4 a.m. every day. So he gets up super early. I'm total opposite. I get to go in late at 10 a.m. But I miss those mornings. I used to wake up super early in the morning for jobs, and I miss getting off early and having some daylight left. I don't get that. But the next thing I wanted to cover were deals. So my channel starting out, I started in September, was the fact that deals were extremely important. We had deals rolling in every single weekend. We had, $3.99, $2.99, $1.99 Arcade1up cabinets. And those are like unheard of now. You don't ever see that. When I checked today, the lowest price I could find was going to be $3.99. And that was for the Pac-Mania cabinet, which wasn't a very popular cabinet. And they're still asking $3.99. So there's just no real deals out there. But I want to let everyone know I'm still checking daily. And I'm thinking there's got to be some at some point. With all these new releases and these deluxe cabinets that have been released, there's at some point something's got to break. And there's got to be a flood of like really good deals coming out. So I'll be following it. And that'll be something I really focus on. Try to, I'm a very visual person. I'm always trying to put visual stuff together for like these live streams and these shows, but I'll also do it for these deal alerts as well. So I hope you guys appreciate that and enjoy it and then benefit from it when I do it. It looks like Toxin said, he goes, I work late laughing out loud, 4:30 to 1. And then Rhea's joined us. Good to see you, Rhea. Glad you made it. I know she's on the West Coast, so it's not too late there yet. I'm glad you've made it. And hopefully I can build too over time if I'm going to do a late live stream, viewers on the West Coast and people that can watch something later. I haven't decided on if I should start before console kits or if I should start late like this, because sometimes I don't even have all my content together in time for a live stream at 4 or at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. It's sometimes I don't have it together in time. So we'll see how it goes. But Rhea said she's a PST, so I've got time and to wish everyone a happy Easter as well. Yeah, we still got about 2.5 hours, a little less now, of Easter here for us. And Toxin said that's a good point. He's waiting on a $2.99 Yoga Flame, and I think that's definitely one right around the corner. If there's any left in stock, if they start selling out, it'll never happen. But if we get a lot left on shelves and they got to make room and they got to clear room, definitely $2.99. And I'm a candidate for a Street Fighter. I got to get an online fighting Arcade1up cabinet. It's either going to be Killer Instinct, Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat. Definitely not Mortal Kombat right now with the issues they're having. So it's probably going to be Street Fighter or Killer Instinct, and I want Street Fighter. I like that game more. There's more a nostalgia for me with Street Fighter than there is with Killer Instinct. And it's also a great competitive online fighting game. There's people that played it from 91, 92, so there's a lot of people that have played Street Fighter 2, and so many people playing online. Matt Astra says, I think Shinku Hadouken may be $3.99 on Walmart. And that is true, $3.99 Walmart. I checked it earlier. I had a note on it. And I haven't been covering deal alerts at $3.99. That's kind of like the breaking point. Anything below $3.99 is when I start covering it. Really $2.99 or less. So those are like your extreme savings, like your solid, best deals you're going to find. And those are what I consider like a red alert. And then Rhea says, she goes, I got hyped when I saw the $79 Mortal Kombat cab, but then she saw it was the mini, or the, what do they call that thing? Collector Cade. So have no interest in the Collector Cade. Even in 79, I don't know if it's worth it. And she said, I still think I would get the MK original cab when I get more space. I would put it next to the game shelf with my physical collection and amiibos. Yeah, so that's one thing, is for the collector use. There's a lot of good ones out there, though, New Wave Toys and these other ones, but they don't have MK. So if you want MK, I guess that's your only option. And then Papa Brad said, Arcade1up Street Fighter cabs are good. And Rhea, Big Blue too. Yeah, Big Blue's a great cabinet. Maybe we'll get like a Big Blue Pro or a Big Blue XL soon, and they can fix some of the things that people didn't like about the last one. And Matt Astra says, I can show you where to get a Big Blue PCB and antenna for $40. Drop it into your Marvel Superheroes. That's interesting, Matt Astra, on the Marvel Superheroes. I've thought about that many times, just getting a PCB and doing it that way. But I've got this thing so set up with my Raspberry Pi and everything. I want to have like a dedicated cabinet for that. So, but I do have other options. I could maybe put in a Final Fight and put in a different game deck and stuff. So I have maybe something to look into if I need to conserve space. But where I'm living now, I actually upgraded. I have more space, and I have room for 2 to 3 more cabinets, which will probably be a At Games Legends 4KP. I'm going to get one of those, and I'll probably end up financing that because of how expensive they're going to be. And then I want to get a couple more cabinets. Street Fighter would be ideal. And then I want something with a trackball or a shooter, and then definitely a driving game. So Fast and the Furious, I've mentioned in my video I did last week. It did pretty decent as far as views and things, but I mentioned in that video that I'm very interested in getting a Fast and the Furious, and I will buy it if Arcade1up can convince me with things like online and maybe even online leaderboards will sell me. So we'll have to see on that. And what other games are we getting? If it is just Fast and the Furious, I probably won't get it. But if it has Drift, that may put me over the top. And I've never paid full price for an Arcade1up. I may do it with the Fast and the Furious. We'll see what they've got up their sleeve on the 20th and what we get. Matt Astra says, he goes, I have a KI in his X-Men versus Street Fighter. So that's, I've seen a lot of that, where people are swapping up and like they're making Killer Instinct cabinets out of Street Fighter Yoga Flames. I've seen a lot of that. And there's a lot of things you can do with modding. And if you like a certain cabinet design or one works better for you, but you want a certain game, that's not the end of the road. You can mod it and do it any way you really want it and make it look as good and better than what it looks like from the factory. And Rhea says TMNT is still up for $600 to $700. Yeah, so those prices have held on TMNT. I did see Best Buy have them for $315, but they were sold out everywhere. I've never seen the $315 and one actually be there. It's always an empty shelf. And then Toxin says, nice. And Rhea, she says, I'll have to check out more Walmarts for store-specific closeouts. So Walmart, and glad you brought that up, they do the riser-less ones where you have to purchase the riser separate and they don't have the lit marquee. Those are running for $379. So like the MK30th with the bad screen, no riser, no lit marquee is going for $379 around here. So I feel like we're kind of far off right now from a closeout. They probably didn't over order this time at Walmart. We may have issues with Best Buy over ordering with these deluxe cabinets, but that'll be later on down the road. That'll be, I think Papa Brad mentioned it in his video on the review. He's probably going to add these deluxe cabinets to his Papa Cade, he calls it, but it's going to be months from now, probably when they're running $100 off or $200 off. And I agree. I think that'll be the sweet spot on when probably to get one of those Pac-Mans and those MK2 Deluxes is at $400 or $300 because it looks like Best Buy probably over ordered and they kind of went all in on the deluxe cabinets, and that's like a recipe for really good prices later on. So we'll see what that'll probably be, Black Friday. And then I've got a couple more here, just quick closing thoughts, actually a few here before I finish up the live stream. So on Spider-Man Remastered, I've been playing it on my PS5. I'm 51% complete. I normally don't sit down long time for live streams for games, but I've been playing this game a lot, not on my channel, just playing it. And I'm 51% complete, playing it on the PS5. It's also on Steam as well if you want to get it. Great game. Enjoying it a lot. And then also my Miss Pac-Man, I'm having some issues with the volume, the up and down slider. So maybe opening a ticket on that. Sometimes I turn it on, it works. Sometimes I turn it on, it does not work. It's hit or miss whether or not it's going to work or not. So I'm probably going to have a PCB failing or maybe something there. So I'm going to have to open a ticket for that. When I checked it today, it was working though. So sometimes it doesn't. I may have to get a video of it not working, and who knows when that'll be, if that's tomorrow or it works for good now. And then also I'm going to Cleveland. So I got tickets. I'm arriving on that Friday in September when the convention starts, and then I'm leaving that Monday. And surprisingly, I think P-Dubs and I are flying back on the same flight. I know there's many people out there in our community that are going to be in Cleveland. Really looking forward to it. If you guys are going, let me know. We could start making plans and, you know, figuring things out on where to go, where to meet up, things like that. And Matt Astray goes, do you know what day you get to Cleveland for the Cleveland Gaming Convention? I get there lunchtime on 9/21. So I get there on Friday, 9/22. I could have gotten there on Thursday for cheaper, actually, but I didn't want to take off a day off work when I could have come in on Friday. So I'll be there Friday, 9/22, and I'll be flying out Monday, that following Monday in the evening. And Chris says he's waiting for an XL or Pro on all the cabs. So yeah, I think we'll get, and we heard too this week, there's going to be at least one Pro or one XL this year, probably towards the end of this year. What that's going to be, it sounds like they're still trying to determine it, but I think your biggest prospects for that are going to be Street Fighter or actually, yeah, I think Street Fighter is probably number one. And it would be nice to see them put Street Fighter 3 on there, Third Strike, get all the best Street Fighter arcade games on there. Kind of like that collection, the Switch collection that had all the Street Fighters on it, including Street Fighter 3. That's what they need to do if they do a Pro. But we'll see. That's still a little ways out, though. It doesn't sound like we're getting an XL or a Pro anytime soon. But they could throw us off, you know, on 420 when they're doing that announcement. Who knows what's going to happen? No one really knows. I've been just making videos on Fast and the Furious because that's what I think is going to be announced. But really, who knows? But I hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream tonight. Brooklyn's goes, I want to go, but still not sure if he can make it. I might put together a local meetup for friends in PA and New Jersey area. That would be cool. Do another meetup at another time. But I'm definitely going to be in Cleveland. I know many other people are. Hopefully you can make it, Brooklyn. Be really good to meet you, hang out, and play some arcades together. It'd be a ton of fun. And Chris said that would be awesome. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the night. Good Easter. I'll see everyone in the next video or live stream, and I hope everyone has a good rest of the night. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.